Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Friday night, which means it's alcohol-free beer night, and the one we're going for tonight is this one. It is Adnams Soul Star, and it is a low alcohol pale amber ale with not more than 0.5% ABV contained within. And it says on the back of the bottle that it is named after the brightest star in the sky, which rises first over the Suffolk Brewery every morning. Soul Star is a celebration of a very special East Coast location. This pale amber ale has light floral citrus aroma and gentle caramel notes. It is a great quality ale with not more than 0.5% ABV. You've got your usual ingredients of water, malted barley, and hops, and interestingly, no yeast mentioned. Anyway, it's got CO2 in it additionally, and yeah. Now I wonder. I'll have to read and find out if it's made in the same way that Ghost Ship is, because that starts out life as regular run-of-the-mill Ghost Ship. Wonder if this is made in the same way, and just has the alcohol kind of magically, by some form of wizardry, extracted from the beer. So without further ado, we're going to get it out into a glass and see what we think. So we're pouring into my AF Beer Club glass. The pour is hopefully amber. It is. See if we can encourage a little head, not too much based on last week's shenanigans. Check out the last video to see what happened there. So there we have it. We have a good colour beer. It is a nice coppery ambery colour, it's clear as a bell. We've got a smidgen of an off-white head that is dissipating relatively quickly. It looks like an old school bitter really, let's be honest. So let's have a whiff. Actually smells quite nice. There are familiarities with Ghost Ship, that light citrusy aroma. 100% very, very pleasant on the nose. It's got a sweet malt behind it. Yeah, it smells alright to be fair. Now, before I take my first sip, I have seen a few people say that Soul Star is not their favourite AF beer. In fact, it's one of the worst ones they've had. We shall see. I love Ghost Ship AF. That is brilliant. If this is anywhere near that, it'll be really good. And it smells very, very similar. So let's have a taste. Cheers. Do you know what? It's not a million miles away from the Ghost Ship in that sense. It has got that bright citrusy flavour, but with a little bit more behind it. The body is light to medium, and the carbonation is good. Citrus is there at the forefront, and behind it is that caramel note. And it's a really sweet malt behind it. It is verging on too sweet though. It's got that sugary thing going on, but the citrus edge is really, really pleasant. It's kind of like a burnt caramel behind it. I like it. It would work really nicely if it had just a little less sweetness overall. I like. The finish, you get a hint of bitterness. Just a hint, not a lot. And most of the malt comes there. And the hops are kind of quite light, but like I say, citrusy on the back end as well. And it's a little bit dry. So yeah, it has quite a few similarities with Ghost Ship AF. Not quite the same. It's got some good things about it. It's got some things that I could improve. Well, I say I couldn't because I'm not a brewer. I don't know the first thing about improving a beer, but there's things that I would change to improve it. So it's not a bad offering, I'm going to say. But before we give you my scores, we shall consult, as always, the scoreboard of joy from Untapped, which says there's been only 421 check-ins and an average of 2.66, which may be a little bit unfair on it. I don't know. We'll cover it in a minute. So, my currently completely empty scoreboard of joy. Let's put a name on there, just so we're just not talking into the darkness. Soul Star. There we go. We're going to give it the 5 pillars of judgment, as always, starting with the looks, the aroma, the body, the taste, and the finish. Starting with the appearance. So let's top it off so we get another look. The beer itself, you know, it looks like an old school bitter. It's got the right amber colours that it describes on the bottle. It's clear, you know, Adnams are a trad sort of brewery. It fits with the traditional style really, really well. I can't fault it on the appearance. It's a good colour. I like the colour a lot. It's got the right colour head. You know, the head could be tighter, but we're nitpicking here. It's an alcohol-free beer, so I don't expect them to last forever. I like it. Can I fault it? Not really. I can't. So I'm going to give it a full point on the looks. And the aroma is quite nice. Like I say, it bears an uncanny resemblance to the Ghost Ship AF with those big citrusy notes. The floral, I kind of get, but it's not huge. It is dominated by the citrus and the malts. I like it. I do. It could be stronger, and it could be a tad less sweet on the nose. I like the aromas, they're good, which means it gets in the 0.5. The body is okay. You know, it's never more than 0.5% ABV, so it's never going to be thick and chewy and unctuous. It's decent though. Carbonation is good. It's good. It's good. Is it very good? Yeah, I'm gonna be completely truthful. I'm not gonna be overly critical because it fits. It works with the beer style. The most important bit is, of course, the taste, and we're gonna go for another sip just because we can. It has the citrus notes up front. It has that burnt caramel flavour behind it. It's got a sweet malt. That's the one thing I would change on the flavour. I would take away some of that sweetness, dial in some more hop bitterness just to really give it that punchy kind of amber ale thing. Like a proper classic English bittering hop. Give it some Goldings or Challenger or something like that. That's what I'd change. I like it though. It's good. It's not brilliant. I'm going to give it the 0.5. And the finish. It's okay. I like it. It does a lot of good things, namely that citrus hop and that caramel malt sitting behind it, but there's too much sweetness for my particular taste. I would like it a little less sweet, a little bit more bitter. You know, it's long enough. It's not overly long, but it's long enough. And it makes me want to go back for another sip. And you can't really ask for much more than that. I say dial back the sweetness on the finish and it'd be pretty good. I'm going to give it the 0.5 there as well. Which means we've got 1, 2, 3.25 out of 5. Which, you know, given that the average is 2.66, it's not miles ahead of that. Some of them I've had have been really far ahead of the average. But that one is a little bit closer. And yeah. Is it one I'd drink again? Possibly. You know, I'd like to do a side-by-side with this and the Ghost Ship AF just to see how close those flavours really are. And that's what I'd do. That's probably why I will drink it again. I'll get another one and do a comparison video another day. And who knows, you might see it linked up there somewhere at some point in time when I revisit all that gumph behind the scenes. And on that note, I'm going to go and drink the rest of the beer and say, that has been the beer. I've been Nick. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You've got like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I will see you again soon for another video. Bye.